Everyone, please stand.
Please be seated. Welcome, everyone.
Is that on?
Welcome. We are gathered here today to celebrate one of life's greatest moments. In this ceremony today, we will witness the joining of two hearts as Cecilia and Chris united marriage. For them, out of routine of the ordinary life, the extraordinary has happened. They met each other, fell in love, and are finalizing it with their wedding today. Romance is fun, but true love is something far more, and it is their desire to love each other for life. And that's what we are here celebrating today. But today is also a celebration for the rest of us. Okay, ready?
We're good.
All right. But today is also a celebration for the rest of us. For it is a pleasure for us to see love in bloom and to participate in the union of two people who are so delightfully suited for one another, and to have a couple drinks in the process. All of us are here have our own love stories. Some of them are short, some of them are long. Some are yet unwritten, while others are just getting to the good parts. There are chapters in all our stories that are sad or disappointing, and others that are exciting and full of adventure. I would like to call up Olivia, Cecilia's goddaughter, to do the first reading. What is this?
Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor, serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Mourn with those who mourn. Live in harmony with one another.
So I had written a nice story of Chris and Cecilia's meeting, and I just wasn't sounding so personal when I was reading it out loud, so I kind of wanted to just go from the heart and say a couple words why this moment is so special for everyone here, especially for them too, but also so special for me. Cecilia and Chris met about 3.5-4 years ago at a bar called JT's, and it was over some a bucket of Miller Lights and some chicken wings where they first met each other. I remember after that, Cecilia would get very excited when this one gentleman would come and place his orders, and she would come back to the kitchen and be very excited to take this food out. So one day I came out and I was like, I'm gonna bring this food to whoever's out there, I'm gonna go check this guy out, make sure he's a good guy and all this. I go out there and I see, Chris is like 6'2", 207 pounds. It's like, oh, this is a healthy boy, and he probably take me, so he could defend her. So we good. As the years have come, Chris and Cecilia just become really important people in my life. So it's a really honor that they had asked me to perform their marriage ceremony, and I'm so honored to share this moment with them and this memory. It's just like it's a new part of your life, and I'm so happy that I'm at the beginning of the chapter of it. So I'm not going to take too much of the time because it's a little breezy out here. So we're going to keep going on with this. I'm going to call up Chris's brother-in-law, Thomas, to do a second reading. There you have it.
The most important thing in our lives, for love is the creator of our favorite memories and the foundation of our fondest dreams. Love is a promise that is always kept, a fortune that can never be spent, a seed that can flourish in even the most unlikely places. And this radiance never fades. This mysterious and magical joy is the greatest treasure of all, one known only by those who love.
And that brings us here. A time to pause and look back and smile at the moments that brought them here. And a time to look ahead at all the moments that are still to come. We are all here because we want those moments for you. We're here to hope for you, to support you, and to be proud of you. And to remind you that love isn't happily ever after. Love is the experience of writing your story. It's not one moment. It's not even this moment. It's every moment. Big ones like saying I love you, moving in together, getting engaged, but mostly a million little ones that come between the big moments. Falling asleep next to each other, making dinner together, spending holidays with your families, binge watching Netflix shows, getting big hugged when you come home from work. These everyday moments fuse together into one big experience. And even though this experience is so incredible, words fail us when we try to explain it. That's just the way it is with love. It's not meant to be felt, not described. But trying to describe love is one of our favorite pastimes. We use these words that we have to write poems, stories, and songs about love. And even though we describe love in different ways, and even though we can look at love differently from one person to the next, we all know when we see it, and we see it here today. You fell in love by chance, but you're here today because you're making a choice. You both are choosing each other. You have chosen to be with someone who enhances you, who makes you think, makes you smile, and makes every day brighter. You're about to make promises to each other that you intend to keep. You're growing to vow to take care of each other, to stand up for one another, and to find happiness in another. There's a simple premise to each of these promises. You're vowing to be here. You're teaming up and you're saying to the other, every experience I'm going to have, I want you to be a part of. Chris and Cecilia have chosen to write their own vows. So, I guess first. After your turn.
Yeah. I had a lot to say. Just part of me is it's going to be pretty lengthy, and I just imagine myself crying, so just bear with me. Now that we're getting married, you think your mother will finally accept my friendship on Facebook? As Marco's, just brought up, in the fall of 2013, on a Sunday night after a long day at work, I was on a serious hunt for Miller Lite drafts and chicken wings. Little did I know the woman behind the bar would be the one I spend the rest of my life with. I think we can both agree that Miller Lite and chicken wings leads to love. You know, I also wish I had a haircut that day. My hair was absolutely out of control. You know, we were on a serious win streak on the way to winning another championship. So I just couldn't cut it. You know, we could both agree. I mean, argue about how many visits it took for me to get your number. You know, you say 5, I say 3, but let's just settle on 4. To be honest, I really couldn't muster up the courage to ask for your number, but my good friend Brian, he just kept egging me on, and he set that up. And I thank God every day he made me do it. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. Got it. Sorry. We went on our first date November 20th. You know, we stayed out till 2 a.m. on a work night just talking, and honestly 2 a.m. right now is crazy. We go to bed at 10 every single night. You know, it was an amazing night of just talking, playing darts, you know, playing music on the jukebox. But I do have one confession to make. When you handed me your phone to play music, I did look at some of your last plays, so technically I cheated to keep the night going along. But it was an amazing night, and I just knew I couldn't mess that up. So I just did whatever it took to keep it going. A few days later, I called my mother, I called John, I called Mark, and I told them I met somebody. I told all of them that it was the best date of my life, and it would be a crime to love if we never saw each other again. So. I remember telling them that I thought you and I had a chance to get married, and you know that thought was so crazy then, but I absolutely knew it. So fast forward to 2016. You know, you went to the hospital with a blood clot, and you were in the hospital for 5 days, and I remember getting that phone call, and I think I did like 120. I didn't care, you know, if I got a ticket or not. You know, when we got there and the doctor was telling us all that information, and you know, you and I both had no idea, but I knew I had to be there, and I knew everything was going to be fine, even if I had no idea, but I had to be there for you. You know, that chair I slept on was the most uncomfortable thing. I swear to God, I was 2 times the size of that thing. But, you know, to be your side, I would have slept on the floor. It didn't matter to me. I knew I had to be there for you. You know, I would have lost my job just to be by your side. But being by your side is the only place I want to be. Sorry, this is the last one, over the past 3 years, you've made me a better man. I couldn't think of one place I'd rather be than right here marrying you. At 11:11 every single night, you ask me to make a wish, and every night I wish for the same thing, and today I can tell you that's coming true. So I promise to always love you through sickness and health. I promise to never go to bed mad at you. I promise to always change the channel when something scary comes on. You're my biggest fan, and I promise to always be yours. I promise to always say you're funnier than me. And I promise to always see your side, even in a disagreement. And lastly, I promise to love you through the good and the bad.
Whew, yeah. You ready, girl? Wait a minute. Yeah, hold your hanky.
Hold that.
Take your time.
This is nice and tight though.
Yeah.
Chris, when we first met, you were just another guy coming into the bar. You made me read the whole beer list and then ordered a Miller Lite. But then you kept coming in, and I soon realized it wasn't just for the beer and wings. Once we figured out how many mutual friends we had, and I got the nod from Tosh that you were a good guy, I figured I'd give a first date a chance. Within the first hour together, I knew this was something different. It was so easy. It felt like we'd known each other for years. And we were just two friends out for a couple drinks. Needless to say, it was the best first date ever. A couple months later was New Year's, and I took you to a Bruins game. The night was so magical and fun, and I remember the exact moment I realized I was falling in love with you. We hopped on a pedicab, and Pterodactyl was whizzing around, and you put your arm around me and pulled me close to keep me warm because it was so cold that night. It was such a thoughtless and genuine motion, but it was so sweet, and it made my heart melt. Now 3 years later, here we are. Before we met, I thought love like this only existed in movies. But with every passing moment, I realized that we really do have movie love. Not because we're putting on an act for each other, but because we're so incredibly real and vulnerable with one another that not even the best rom-com can compare. You make me laugh on my worst days when all I want to do is cry, and when laughter isn't enough and I do break out into tears. You're always there to hold me tight until I'm okay. And in your arms, I'm always okay. Thank you for always making me laugh. Thank you for keeping my feet warm at night. Thank you for always changing the channel when something scary comes up. And thank you for always doing the dishes. But most of all, thank you for loving me, for being my best friend, my soulmate, my Dwayne Johnson. As our lives continue to grow, I cannot promise I will ever be better with doing my laundry or cleaning my car. But I do promise I will always love, cherish, and honor every moment we have. I promise to be by your side forever and always, from this day forward, until death parts us. My heart will be your shelter. My arms will be your home. In you, all my prayers have been answered. And it's with such joy in my heart that I choose you forever.
Oh, Lord, girl. All right, let's get on with it. Ready? Yeah. All right. It's a tough act to follow. You have both chosen to wear rings as a reminder of these promises. People often say wedding bands are a perfect circle with no beginning and no end. But these rings did have a beginning. The stones were formed a long time ago, deep within the earth. Eventually, a series of lucky events caused them to rise to the surface, where someone dug them up. Metal was liquefied in a furnace at thousands of degrees, molded, cooled, and painstakingly polished. Thank you. Something beautiful was made from these elements. Love is like that. It comes from humble beginnings and through a combination of serendipity and effort, imperfect beings shape into something extraordinary. It's the process of making something beautiful where there once was nothing at all. As you look at these rings over the years, I hope you remember that. You created something invaluable. And just as you'll protect these rings, I'm confident that you'll protect the commitments you've made to each other today. May I have the ring, Sean? You, Chris, may place the ring on a finger of your bride. Just repeat it after me. Cecilia? You're going to say, yeah.
Just repeat after him.
I give you this ring as a symbol of my love and faithfulness to you.
Cecilia, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love and faithfulness to you.
By the same token, Cecilia, you may place the ring on your finger of your groom. So, Chris, I give you this ring as a symbol of my...
Chris, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love and faithfulness to you.
So now we just want to take a second and make it official. Do you have the license? And then, okay. We'll do that after. It's in the car. So before I pronounce you husband and wife, there's just one more thing I want you guys to do. Your wedding day is one that seems to fly. It's filled with a lot of emotions, friends, rings, dances, drinks. Many people remember how fleeting their own wedding day was. So we're going to take a few seconds to look at each other in the eyes. Think about the happiness that you're feeling in this place, in this moment. Really let that feeling register in your heart, in your mind. Now I want you to think about your life together in 20 years. Where are you? What are you doing? We all know your visions of the future are not identical, but always complementary. John Lennon once said, "A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together, that is reality. That new reality starts now." You may now kiss your bride. Family and friends, for the first time, it's my honor to pronounce to you Mr. and Mrs. Christopher Colzer.